Rockstar hair, don't care. Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick video on the new brake job that I just did on my ZDZA. I got some new brakes. My brakes were squeaking pretty bad. It's a standard problem you get in a lot of these knockoff bikes where they use just the standard brake. Typically, lately I've noticed, only one side of the brake pad moves. Do I have an assembled brake here somewhere I could show you? I'm sure I do. All right. So the idea is this, right? Your brakes are going to clamp on here, and when you push this piston down, which is where your brake rope would come through this little hole right here, okay? When you normally push this down, if you could see that, you see only one side's moving? Only one side moves. What happens is, that's not really enough biting power. You got to keep in mind that my e-bike, 70 pounds, I'm about 190. It's a lot. And then force equals mass times acceleration. I'm doing 20 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour. It's a lot. And it's just not enough stopping power for that to clamp and stop safely. And I noticed this when I first got it, but the brake pads were newer. And after only about 3 months of riding or so, I noticed my brake pads obviously starting to burn up, and I was getting squeaking. So you'd hear this really incessantly and loud squeaking sound. So I had tuned the brakes. I tried to make the rope a little bit tighter. I tried to kind of make it, bite a little more. I had it that it was so tight, I took a pair of pliers and I yanked it down and I screwed it in place. So those brakes were basically hair triggers, and it was still squeaking. So I realized it was time to make a change, and that's what I did. So let's jump over to the bike and I'll show you what I did. So I went ahead and swapped my brakes out with kind of like a poor man hydraulic brake. It still uses the same metal rope here that kind of clamps up. The difference is now inside here it clamps both ways, and this is a lot tighter. The problem is on my bike, and I suspect if you buy a cheaper bike online, you may experience the same problem. These bolts right here, that's what holds this brace to the stem, right? And that's what allows you to bolt this onto. So this bolts into the bike here, and then you see a bolt running here, and you see a bolt running there, and that's what clamps it on that way, all right? The problem is, for whatever reason on this bike, these are Loctite down. I can't break these. I took an Allen wrench, I was bashing on it with a hammer, I did extenders, I took some bolts, I was trying to shear the back of the bolt off. I can't get these things off, they are stuck. And it's the same on the back as well. You might see a little bit different angle here. Exact same thing. These bolts, they don't come off. I can't wiggle them at all. So I was stuck using that adapter. The problem is, this is the adapter that came with my new brakes. This is curved. And if you notice, my hand's in the way. If you notice one side, it doesn't actually sit level, right? It actually sits with this side up higher than this side. It ain't level, okay? So that's because these two red bars here aren't level. You could see one is actually a little closer to the front than the back. They're crooked. Well, when you have this in place, it lines up nice and easy, no problem. The problem is I was using a flat bar with something that had a curve to it. It didn't work out so well. So I had to get cute with some spacers, and I had to insert a different amount of spacers on the top and the bottom in order to get this bracket to mount. It's definitely not as square as I want it to be. It's a little crooked, but safety-wise, it's fine. There's no issues in terms of safety. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. But just keep in mind, if your brakes are like mine or your bike's like mine and these two bolts are locked into place, you're gonna have to get cute with spacers. The first time I put it on, I was getting a really, really bad rub and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. It was actually not from coming down the pipe. It was actually this part, the outside of the disc, was actually crashing into this piece here. It was basically too off-centered. It wasn't a left-right issue, it was a forward-back issue. So I had to figure out the spacers, and that's why I had to get a little creative in kind of how those work. But if you're going through an issue like me and you decide to swap out your brakes, and you're tired of the squeaks, and you want to get a pair of hydraulic brakes, or even poor man hydraulic brakes that isn't hydraulic fluid all the way to the dash, so to speak, right? It still uses the mechanical rope that pulls down, but at least they now clamp both ways. This does not squeak anymore. Just keep in mind, if you have a bike like that and you do have bolts that are Loctite, you're gonna have to play with the spacers a little bit, but I think it's worth the hassle. This took me a lot longer than I care to admit, but I got it done and I'm super happy. And now when I go out and ride again, I don't have to wear earplugs. Hope you found this video interesting and informative. Thanks for watching. I do have a playlist for all my other e-bike stuff. I got some accessories on there and some ride videos and kind of do's and don'ts. So if you're interested in e-bikes and you're just starting to learn about this stuff, maybe you found this informative, go ahead and check out that playlist. You might find something else that you might learn a thing or two, all right? Hey, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Take care.